Good morning, students. I, Dr. V. M. Tirke, Sanjeevani College of Engineering, welcomes you all. Today, we are going to learn Unit 1 of Business Research and Analytics. Friends, Unit 1 talks about introduction of research, objective of research, type of research, and qualities of good research. So, at the end of the session, every student would be able to identify the meaning and definition of research, objective or advantages of research, types of research, and qualities of good research. Friends, before moving, let us play a small game. Match the pairs. On left hand side, there are questions like who, what, where, when, and how. And you have to match them with right side. So let us try it out. For number one, that is who, I think option 3 suits more. That is identification of prospective buyers for Reliance Communication assets. For question number 2, that is what, I think option number 4 suits more. That is study of causes of Nokia failure in the Indian market. Now, question number 3. Where? I think option number 2 suits more. Identification of target market for the newly launched electric vehicle. Then question number 4, that is when. I think option number 5 suits more. That is deciding suitable timing for IPO launching. And then for question number 5, that is how, I think option number 1 suits more. That is performance of Modi government. So friends, if you will see the right hand side, all those 5 options are nothing but the areas wherein research could be done or wherein you would have an opportunity to understand something new. Okay, so can we say a research is simply answering the questions like who, what, where, when, and how? Am I right? So just moving further, let us see. So introduction of research. So in simple language, a research is nothing but searching again and again. Friends, if you know, every 5 years down the line, government used to conduct elections just to decide which is going to rule the economy for next 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, again election happens and that decides the next government who is going to rule the economy. So don't you think every 5 years down the line, when economy identifies who should be the government controllers, so that activity we can call it as a research. So research is searching again and again. Number 2, research is also finding the newer dimensions to existing phenomena. For example, friends, we all know that in marketing previously there were 4 P's of marketing. Those were product, price, place, and promotion. But later on, 3 more P's have got added into marketing, and today we have 7 P's of marketing. So this addition of 3 P's into the existing 4 P's have constituted a newer dimensions to the concept of marketing. So a research is nothing but finding newer dimensions to existing phenomena. Friends, research is also doing investigation to find the truth. For example, as you all know that recently government of India has had a Chandrayaan 2 movement, but unfortunately it got failed. So, to find out the causes of Chandrayaan 2 soft landing failure could also be an interesting topic whereby research could be done. So, a research is doing investigation to find the truth. Next, friends, research could also be finding solution to some ongoing issues. For example, GST implementation. As we all know that Indian taxation system was little bit complicated and it used to lead to tax evasion and so many wrong taxational related practices. So, government of India has came up with a comprehensive taxation system in the form of GST, which has replaced all the traditional indirect taxes of the economy. So this is nothing but giving solution to the ongoing problem. So a research could also be finding solution to some ongoing issues. Next, identifying newer concepts, methodologies, and procedures. Friends, as we all know, when we were going to schools in the science, we have studied various laws. Even in geometry, also, we have studied one law called Pythagoras theorem. Also, when we have started studying for MBA, we have also learned law of demand, law of supply. Also, during our science education, we have studied Newton's law of motion, Newton's law of energy. So, all of these are nothing but the addition of newer concepts, methodologies, and procedures. So, that is also research. Okay. Next, research is also providing a sound basis for making decisions. Recently, as you all know, government has given Maratha reservation. But before giving the reservation, they have constituted a backward ayog, and the backward ayog has submitted a comprehensive report telling about whether reservation could be given to Maratha community. And based on the research which Backward Ayog has done, based on the report which Backward Ayog has submitted, government has formed a strong basis for giving reservations to Maratha community. So, a research could also be providing sound basis for making decisions. Okay, let us move further. Then how can we define research? So there are different approaches by which it has happened in the past. Redman and Mori has attempted to define a term called research. He says research is a systematized effort to gain new knowledge. According to Fred Kerlinger, research is an organized inquiry designed and carried out to provide information for solving a problem. Now, what are the objectives or significance or benefits or advantages of research? They are: research extends knowledge, it also unravels the mysteries, it also helps in establishing the generalizations and general laws. Research also helps for verification and testing the existing facts or theories. It also helps in predicting the future. Research analyzes interrelationships. Research also aims at finding solutions. Research aims at development of newer tools, concepts and theories. Research also aids in planning, and research also supports decision making. So these are the various advantages. Moving further, let us see the different types of research. Friends, research can be classified on the basis of application, on the basis of objectives, on the basis of extent of theory, and on the basis of time dimension. So let us see them one by one. Number one, type of research on the basis of application. So they can be classified as pure research or basic research or fundamental research and applied research. A pure or basic research is nothing but when the intention of researcher of doing some research, if it is just to find out something new, that is new theory, new law, or new kind of product or project which he may not be knowing as to where this would actually be used. So that type of research we will call it as a pure research or basic research or fundamental research. For example, when Newton's law of motion has been identified by Newton, he was not knowing that many of the automobile industries and all other type of hardcore industries are going to use the principle of Newton's law of motion. So he was not knowing. So he has done it out of the curiosity about that particular course. So that is a pure research. So in that context, Pythagoras theorem or law of demand, law of supply are nothing but the examples of pure research or basic research or fundamental research. Then applied research. Friends, applied research in simple language is nothing but a kind of research which is intended to find out something which will be applied to the ongoing situation. For example, if you are working in a company as a marketing manager and suddenly in the western region of Maharashtra the sales of your product has declined. So it might happen that you may appoint a surveyor or an employee of your company to go and research out as to why the sales in western Maharashtra has declined. So that particular research is going to help you in improving the sales performance of your product in western Maharashtra. So if any research is intended for getting it used for some purpose, then that type of research we will call it as a applied research. Friends, types of research on the basis of objective. The choices are exploratory research, descriptive research, and causal research. Exploratory research is nothing but a kind of research whereby, with the help of numbers, with the help of percentage, with the help of variables, you are trying to identify some concrete information about particular phenomena or about particular situation. So all those kind of examples are the exploratory kind of research. Second is descriptive. Friends, when you are trying to describe some phenomena or some reality of the market with the help of numbers or without the help of numbers, then that kind of research you will call it as a descriptive research. And lastly, causal research. Friends, causal research is a kind of research whereby you are trying to find out the interrelationships among us different variables, or you are trying to see the impact of change of one variable onto another variable. This kind of research is basically a cause and effect kind of research whereby your attempt is to identify the factors that do impact onto the behavior of certain other factors. So these are the causal research. Friends, moving further, type of research on the basis of extent of theory. The choices are theoretical research or empirical research. Theoretical research is nothing but a research which has happened with the help of literature, with the help of research paper, with the help of theories, with the help of books. So a theoretical research is a paper based research whereby no laboratory work is involved. Number two, Empirical research. Empirical research is a kind of research whereby you have some concrete observations which can be seen or which has a proof. So any empirical research is having proofs behind it, or you can experience the realities of that particular research. Okay, moving further. Type of research on the basis of time dimension. Friends, the examples are cross-sectional research and longitudinal research. Cross-sectional research is a research which happens at one single time frame, and longitudinal research is a kind of research which happens over a period of time or which involves different time periods during its research organizing. For example, if you wanted to see the position of an economy after the second Modi government's 2.0 performance, then it is a cross-sectional research, because you are going to see the performance post Modi 2.0 government. But if you will do the study of performance of Modi 1.0 government in comparison to performance of Modi 2.0 government, then you are going to use two different time frames, and that is why it is longitudinal research. Okay, moving further. Now let us see the qualities of a good research. Okay, they are: number 1, well defined problem; number 2, systematic; number 3, purposive; number 4, scientific; number 6, objectivity; next, observable or empirical; next, solution seeking. So let us try to understand them with the help of example. Friends, in the green box you can see I have quoted some of the examples. Those examples are the humorous kind of examples which exactly gives you the situation which is opposite to the quality of a good research. For example, well defined problem is a quality of good research. But now see the example: a very good study of something during pre and post demonetization period. Friend, do you think this research topic is truly well defined? No, because you are saying a very good study. Friend, is there any measurement by which you can identify that some study is a very good study or not? So there is no particular yardstick, or you have not defined a particular yardstick whereby it could be identified that this is said to be very good. So this research is not a good research. Or you are also saying something. So what is that something? Something can be the entire world. So you have not specified as to what particular factor or which particular theory or which particular element you are going to study of economy on the basis of demonetization in pre and post era. So this research is not properly defined. Number 2, research should be systematic. What is said to be systematic? Systematic means if anything is following certain prescribed course of action in a logical manner, then it is said to be systematic. Now let us see the example, a humorous example. A laboratory study of globalization on the geography of India. Friends, क्या आपको लगता है कि देश की भौगोलिक परिस्थिति का ग्लोबलाइजेशन से कोई रिलेशन बनता है? और अगर बनता भी है तो क्या इसको आप लेबोरेटरी में स्टडी कर सकते हैं? नॉट पॉसिबल. सो a good research should always be systematic. Number 3, a good research is purposive. अब purposive होता क्या है दोस्तों? Purposive is a perfect objective oriented activity. For example, यहाँ पे एक example है, a study on causes of failure of नरेंद्र मोदी's tea selling business. देश के महामहिम जो है नरेंद्र जी मोदी, डू यू रियली थिंक कि उनके चाय बेचने वाले बिजनेस का क्या हुआ, इसका स्टडी करने की जरूरत है? आई थिंक it is not required. So a good research is always having some objective behind it or some purpose behind it. Next, a good quality research is also scientific. What is said to be scientific? If every research or if any activity is following certain course of action which is backed with proofs, which is backed with numbers, which is backed with some evidences, then that kind of activity you will call it as a scientific. Let us see the example. A study on geographical causes of mosquito bites on the history of human survival. Do you think it is a scientific study? Surely not, because how can you do a geographical causes of mosquito bites on the history of human survival? So it is not scientific. Next, objectivity. Objectivity means your study is pertaining to certain objectives and they are not getting hampered because of your emotions, because of your feelings, or because of your perceptions. But see the example. Empirical study of my perception towards performance of Modi government. Friend, this research is not having objectivity. Why? Because if my perceptions are going to get added into the performance of someone, it would always have an impact because of my emotions, my feelings, my way of thinking. Let us see the example. If this research has been done by a person who is believing onto BJP government, the outcomes are already known to us. और अगर यही रिसर्च एक कांग्रेस वासी या दूसरा किसी भी ओपोनेंट पार्टी का लीडर या कोई भी समर्थक करेगा तो आपको पता ही है कि आउटकम क्या होने वाला है. सो अ गुड रिसर्च शुड ऑलवेज बी ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड देयर शुड बी नो स्कोप फॉर पर्सनल इमोशंस और बायसेस और फीलिंग्स टू गेट इन्वॉल्व इनटू द रिसर्च. नेक्स्ट, A good research is always observable और empirical. इसका मतलब एक अच्छा रिसर्च हमेशा डेटा के ऊपर काम करता है या फिर it would always have proofs or it would always have some incidents which are real. Okay, now see the example. Ethnographic study of Chandrayaan-2 soft landing failure. दोस्तों, चांद्रयान 2 का सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग का जो फेल्योर हुआ है अभी रिसेंटली गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के एक अटेम्प्ट में, तो क्या आप इसको इथनोग्राफिकली स्टडी कर सकते हो? श्योरली नॉट, क्योंकि ना ही तो आप इसरो के साइंटिस्ट हो और ना ही आपका वो नॉलेज है. तो आप वहां पे जाके कैसे पता करेंगे कि चांद्रयान 2 का फेल्योर कैसे हुआ? सो दिस इज नॉट अ ऑब्जर्वेबल रिसर्च और एम्पिरिकल रिसर्च. ओके, एंड द लास्ट इज a good research should always be aiming at solutions. The example is situational study of feelings of biker after fuel draining while on the go. Friend, एक बंदा 350 सीसी की गाड़ी रोड पे चला रहा है और सडनली अगर उसका पेट्रोल खत्म हो जाता है तो उसके मन में क्या विचार आते हैं, उसकी फीलिंग्स कैसी हो जाती है? इसको स्टडी करना, डू यू रियली थिंक इज अ वर्थवाइल? इज इट फाइंडिंग सम सॉल्यूशन? आई थिंक certainly not. So this kind of research would not be termed as a good research because it is not aiming at any solution. There are few more qualities of good research. Let us see them. They are generalizability. The example is analytical study of monsoon weather to reduce summer heat. दोस्तों, जनरलाइजेबिलिटी माने क्या? जब आप कोई रिसर्च करते हो, अगर वो रिसर्च सिर्फ किसी पर्टिकुलर कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ही काम में आएगा तो वो रिसर्च का वाइड एप्लीकेबिलिटी नहीं हो सकता है. सो एक रिसर्च अच्छा इसलिए कहा जाता है जब वो रिसर्च का यूज आप किसी दूसरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी कर सकें. ओके, देखिए यहाँ पे एक एग्जांपल है, एनालिटिकल स्टडी ऑफ मॉनसून वेदर टू रिड्यूस समर हीट. दोस्तों, मॉनसून के वेदर का स्टडी करके क्या आप समर हीट को कम करने की कोशिश कर सकते हो? नहीं कर सकते हो. तो फिर आपको एक ऐसा रिसर्च करना चाहिए जिसके तहत आप मॉनसून में स्टडी तो कर रहे हैं पर उसका फायदा समर के लिए भी हो. तो दिस काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च वुड बी कॉल्ड एज अ जनरलाइजेबिलिटी. ओके, अनदर, A good research is unbiased. Unbiased माने इसमें बंदे के खुद के biases नहीं आते हैं. Let us see the humorous example. Study of management practices at my retail store with my enemies or competitors retail store. दोस्तों, क्या ये study unbiased हो सकता है? बिल्कुल नहीं, क्योंकि आपके खुद के रिटेल स्टोर की प्रैक्टिसेस को आप अपने कंपटीटर के रिटेल स्टोर के प्रैक्टिसेस को स्टडी कर रहे हो एंड यू ओनली इज गोइंग टू स्टडी. सो इट वुड ऑलवेज हैव योर ओन बायसेस टू कम इन पिक्चर. सो इट वुड सर्टेनली नॉट बीइंग कॉल्ड एज अ गुड research. Next, a good research is also having transdisciplinary approach. Transdisciplinary माने if you are doing a research in economics, it should always have an possibility to get it used somewhere in science. If it is the case, then it is good research. So let us see the example. Study of age and physics for seeking solution on diseased mental peace in youngsters. दोस्तों ये रिसर्च ट्रांस डिसिप्लिनरी बिल्कुल नहीं है, क्योंकि एज एंड फिजिक्स का जो भी मायना है वो मेंटल पीस से है नहीं, तो आप इस तरह का रिसर्च नहीं कर सकते. तो इट इज नॉट अ ट्रांस डिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च. अ गुड रिसर्च इज ऑल्सो हैविंग क्लैरिटी इन इट्स फॉर्मुलेशन. एग्जाम्पल देखिए. इम्पैक्ट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ बैड कंपनीज ऑन द लेवल ऑफ गुड एम्प्लॉयज. दोस्तों ये रिसर्च तो किया जा सकता है, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली इसका क्लैरिटी नहीं है. what are the reasons because of which we can say कि क्लैरिटी नहीं है? यहाँ पे देखिए दोस्तों, हम लोग कह रहे हैं इम्पैक्ट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ बैड कंपनीज. तो बैड कंपनी का डेफिनेशन है क्या? क्या वो कंपनी का प्रॉफिट अच्छा नहीं है, या फिर उसके प्रोडक्ट अच्छे नहीं है, या फिर वो गवर्नमेंट के टैक्सेस पे नहीं कर रहा है, या फिर कौन सा फैक्टर है जो कंपनी को बैड डिफाइन करेगा? तो आपको क्लियरली मेंशन करना चाहिए कि बैड कंपनी माने कौन सी कंपनी. एंड सेकेंडली यू आर सेइंग दैट स्टडिंग दैट इम्पैक्ट ऑन द लेवल ऑफ गुड एम्प्लॉयज. अब गुड एम्प्लॉय का भी डेफिनेशन आपके पास है नहीं. गुड एम्प्लॉय माने इतने सैलरी वाला, गुड एम्प्लॉय माने इतने सालों से काम करने वाला, गुड एम्प्लॉय माने इतने सारे स्किल सेट होने वाला, या फिर गुड एम्प्लॉय माने इतना उसका वर्क परफॉर्मेंस है ऐसा होने वाला. तो यू हैव नॉट मेंशन्ड पर्टिकुलरली एज टू व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट डिफाइंस गुड एम्प्लॉयज. सो to have a good research, you should always have a clarity in its formulation. Next, a good research is always testable. Testable माने it should always have an element of getting tested. For example, a study of heartbeats of armed force during surgical strikes or war related actions. दोस्तों जब आर्मी का कोई सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक या कोई भी वार रिलेटेड मूवमेंट चल रहा है, तो क्या आप उन लोगों का हार्टबीट को स्टडी कर सकते हो? Certainly not, because you are not allowed to be on the borders or into the areas where this violent situation has arisen. So this research cannot be testable. A good research should always be testable. That is, anybody who wish to see or who wish to analyze or evaluate the actual happening should be in a position to get those things done. Is something we call it as a testable. Next, a good research is also identifying the variables. For example, study of post death anatomy of human body. दोस्तों एक बंदा जब गुजर जाता है तो उसकी एनाटॉमी को स्टडी कैसे कर सकते हैं आप? बिकॉज उसका एनाटॉमी अभी है ही नहीं, बचा ही नहीं है बंदा है, तो उसका क्या एनाटॉमी स्टडी करेंगे? सो अ गुड रिसर्च शुड ऑलवेज बी एमिंग एट आइडेंटिफाइंग द वेरिएबल्स, एंड देन विद द हेल्प ऑफ दोज वेरिएबल्स ही विल ट्राई टू डिस्क्राइब और इवैल्यूएट or just narrate the situation or facts or findings. So a good research will always have variables into it. And lastly, a good research should always serve the validity requirements. The example is study of impact of age, height and weight onto human psychology. दोस्तों बंदे के एज, हाइट एंड वेट का ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी के ऊपर क्या इफेक्ट हो रहा है, क्या इसको आप स्टडी कर सकते हो? डू यू थिंक इट इज अ वैलिड स्टडी? I don't think so. So a good quality research should always have a element of validity. Okay, now let us do a small exercise. Develop any one research topic from the field of finance, marketing, operations, technology and agriculture. Okay, go into the market, visit or see some literature or Google out some of the facts and try to develop certain research topic pertaining to these fields. I hope you have listened the video carefully. For any doubts, you can contact. Thank you. Have a nice time.